As always, if this is your first time on my YouTube channel, to view the HSE dashboard, I would highly recommend that you view the dashboard introduction video first, and then this video will make a lot more sense. Otherwise, welcome back. Today we are going to look at completing the incident register entry form. Common features of all the forms, the various control buttons in the forms. And finally, we will also look at the results of submitting the form, leading to the dashboards affected. As always, we will start from the navigation view. Before we open the incident register form, having updated the expended man-hour register in our previous video, it's worth pointing out that submitting an incident form will subsequently update dashboards 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. We will show you where the updates have been affected in the respective dashboards in this video, however, recognizing that each dashboard requires a technical discussion in its own right, from an HSE management explanatory viewpoint, these will be presented in a separate short video on my channel for those dashboards that merit it. So going to column 1, and selecting the incident register entry form, we will see the incident register form appear. Compared to the expended man-hours form, this looks a lot more imposing, but I can assure you it isn't. Under normal circumstances, when completing this form, you would obviously be extracting the desired information from a first aid form submitted by a first aider. As this is a demonstration, we will have to complete the form as we go along, but saying that, you will get an idea of the time it takes to complete the form. For those of you who have viewed the completing the expended man-hours video, the first 4 rows of the incident register form are the same. Register number, again checking the top of the form for that last register ID, we simply input the next consecutive number. The date field, indicate when the incident occurred by pressing the required date on the calendar. Month and year fields, use the validation boxes. For the incident classification field, we will assume that the injured party needed to be sent to hospital, so we will give the incident an MTC classification using the validation drop-down, which is an acronym I am sure you are aware, for medical treatment case. Location, we will indicate Site B from the validation drop-down. For the name field, let's put Mickey Mouse for the demonstration. Trade discipline, let's say an electrician using the validation drop-down. Clock number field, 1, 2, 3 will suffice. For the demo, this is a free text field. Incident type field, let's say it's a crush injury using the validation drop-down. Body part affected field, let's say his hand, using the validation drop-down. Incident investigation required field, given the injured party needed to go to hospital, we can for the demo say, yes, using the validation drop-down. Supervisor in charge field, using the validation drop-down let us say, Supervisor 10. The incident details field is free text, and just requires a brief summary of events outlining the details of the incident. Injured party supervisor's comments field, if they are not listed on the first aid form, we can say to be confirmed in this section for the demo, and we can come back to it which will be demonstrated shortly. Recommended corrective action field, for the demo, I will put please refer to investigation report, given that we have indicated an investigation is required. Action party field, let's say, not applicable, as another management process is actually dealing with it in our make-believe world. And last but not least, the status field, let's indicate open. The incident for all we know may escalate from an MTC to a lost time incident, or RID incident for all we know in the real world. And that's it, we are ready to submit the form, by clicking the blue Submit Incident Record to Register button. You will observe a slight delay at this time, as Excel goes about doing the necessary incident frequency data calculations, updating all the respective individual charts in dashboards from 2 to 6. It can take up to 30 seconds for Excel to update all of the dashboards, which serves to demonstrate to some extent how much work Excel is doing. We normally expect instantaneous results, do we not? Okay, let's start exploring what has happened with the data we have just submitted. Going back to the navigation view, let's check out the incident register. What do we see? The register has been updated to reflect our incident submission. Back to the navigation view, and select Dashboard 1. What do we see? The incidents this month chart is now showing an MTC incident for May. In the most recent incident classification occurrences section, details of the incident are now showing. Site B photograph has increased the number of incidents to 4, taking into account the MTC incident. Back to the navigation view, and select Dashboard 2. What do we see? The MTC incident frequency chart has updated. The MTC gauge visualization is indicating that the incident has moved to an area of concern, as far as the company average MTC incidents are concerned. The incident frequency for above, first aid gauge, has also moved to the area of concern, as far as the company average for incident above first aid is concerned. Back to the navigation view, and select Dashboard 3. What do we see? An MTC incident is now showing on the incidents this month on the left. Supervisor 10 has now been included in the monthly Supervisors Incidents chart. Supervisor 10 is also included in the annual Supervisors Incidents chart. Supervisor 10 has appeared in the Who Was in Charge chart. With a slight adjustment of the blue type of incident, Supervisor Spinners to MTC and Supervisor 10. What type of incident? Chart updated. Who did it happen to? Chart updated. Where was the injury? Chart updated. Supervisor 10 incidents this year, chart updated. All supervisors this month, chart updated. And all of this year's incidents, showing body part affected visualizations, also updated. Back to the navigation view, and select Dashboard 4. What do we see? Annual incident percentages, departments, trade groups. Incident percentages by trade discipline across the company chart now includes the MTC incident. Annual percentage of incident types now includes the electrician's crush injury. The maintenance department's chart section now indicates the electrician's incident represents 4%. And both the gauges that have been set to the appropriate settings show just above 4%. Back to the navigation view, and select Dashboard 5. What do we see? The MTC historical annual incident frequency chart has updated to reflect the electrician's incident. The incident frequency can be adjusted on this view, from incident frequency per 100,000. 200,000, 1 million man-hours respectively. Back to the navigation view, and select Dashboard 6. What do we see? With a selection of the year, month slices, we get all of the incidents in May details, including Mickey Mouse, who, if you recall, happened to be the name we called the electrician. There is lots to explain on this view, but as indicated earlier, this will be done in a separate video. Okay, let's go back to the incident register form view and demonstrate some of the uses of the form buttons. As you can see, the form clears automatically when the record is successfully transferred to the receiving register. So now we have more information relating to the MTC associated with Mickey Mouse, the unfortunate electrician used in our demonstration, that we have just recently submitted. As it was the last entry submitted, its register number is not difficult to find. We simply refer to the top of the form. Click the Find dark green Find Record button, and you're confronted with a record search window. Simply input 203 in the search window text box. OK, let's say we now have available the supervisor's feedback, which we did not have when we completed the original record. If you recall, we indicated to be confirmed when we first completed the entry. Let's amend this section to say, I was informed by the first aider of Mickey's injury. He was instructed by me to do the task he was involved in, but I specifically warned him of the potential for whatever happened to happen before he started. We'll paste this in to save time. And then click the blue Submit Record to Register button again. In this instance, the only thing that will update is the incident register. Let's go and check it out. Pause equals. So you can see that the table updates to reflect the changes in the supervisor's column, but the incident register entry number remains the same. Now let's go back to the form, and make another update, shall we? Let's repeat the process for finding the entry. Now let's do something significant. Let's change the incident classification from an MTC to a RIDDOR, and then resubmit. Let's check out the incident register first. The register has updated. And when we go back to Dashboard 1, that also has changed to reflect the update. It now shows 2 RIDDOR incidents for May, as well as the date and details for the latest RIDDOR incident, as have all the other dashboards affected previously shown. There is one other feature that all the forms have, that we wish to show you before we leave you in this session, so going back to Incident Register Forms view. Let's call up Mickey Mouse's record one more time. As we have demonstrated, the forms can be readily updated. Now, just using the data that we input for the Mickey Mouse incident, let's delete, say, any 3 random fields. Now give the form the next register number, and let's pretend this is a completely new record. Let's try and submit the form with the 3 empty fields. You will see that you get an error message, indicating how many errors there are because of the empty fields, and the empty fields will change color, providing a clear indication where they are. There's no need for concern. We simply have to input the required data into the error fields and then resubmit the form. This is a safeguard to ensure essential data is present when you submit your data. This also happens if you click the blue Submit button even when all the cells are empty inadvertently. You can just proceed filling in the form as normal under these circumstances. The field will change color when you enter data.